expected. There we go. The following occurred: attempting to join the domain error-driven tech. Okay. First is first. Let's go ahead and make sure that we have Alpha Core, our server. Make sure it's on. Alpha Core is still up and running, so that's good. Now we need something to connect to it. So we'll do pconfig, and you can see it does have an IP address, and the IP address does resolve to the error-driven tech VLAN that I have set up for this. First, let's try and ping the actual domain controller. I believe we changed it to .10. So it was able to ping the domain controller up here, and it was able to ping the router. So with that said, let's go ahead and try and get this added to our domain on error-driven-tech.net. So let's go to system. Oh, actually, I forgot. We can always do it from right there. Rename. So we're going to rename this. I usually do the renaming of the PC as well as joining the domain at the same time because it all changes when you restart the system anyway. So error-driven tech. And why I don't have to put the full domain name in is because that's the net BIOS that we set up when we promoted the other server. All right, so this is interesting. There we go. Unable to find that domain. So now we'll do, let's see if we can NS lookup. Yeah, it's pointing to the router. So let's try Alpha Core, and it should time out and fail and be like, I don't know what's up. Error-driven-tech.net, since that's our internal domain. It times out and says, nope, can't find it. Oh no, I don't know what to do. IP config. We'll see everything. Okay, so here's the problem. DNS server points to 35.1. That is not going to have the information that we need. So in order to get this workstation or any workstation joined to the domain, the name servers have to point on the NIC, have to be configured to point to the domain controller. Otherwise, it's not going to be able to find it. And the DNS for that is hosted on the domain controller. So how do we get there? We're going to have to open it. Okay. So here we can see it's still pointing to this, but watch what happens when we change this to the domain controller. And this time I remember it's not .2, it's .10. Otherwise, that would still not work. So we're not going to actually set the IP address. We can leave the IP address to dynamic for it to go and choose an IP address from DHCP. We're just going to input what we want it to look at in terms of the domain controller, which will be .10. Click OK, click OK. You can see that it's changed here. I want to show you now what it looks like when we run the tools again. So this time when we do NS lookup, it's going to show now it's changed. Instead of saying timeout, or unknown, it now at least gives the right IP address. So now look what happens if we type in Alpha Core. It should come back and say, let's try Alpha Core error-driven-tech.net. And there we go. So it finds the name and it finds the address. And the reason why it it needed this appended to it because it was just trying to look for a system called Alpha Core, and it needed the fully qualified domain name, or FQDN, for that. But once we join this to the domain, it won't need that anymore. We can type in Alpha Core and it should just pop up. So also, if we do an IP config again and type in all, we can see that it's been set and it's been changed. So now we'll go back here and click OK again. This time it should prompt me again for creds, but this time it should say, welcome to the error-driven tech domain. We'll click OK. And we will restart. I think that's it. No, it's not. I don't know why I said that. The password was incorrect, I believe. So now we just wait until it says either you have successfully joined it or, sorry, password's incorrect. And while we're doing this, we may even have to put in the full SAM account, which is domain / username. Okay. So now we'll go over here, click OK again, have it reprompt, and hopefully type in the correct password this time. Okay, so this one again. And you'll see once we restart the computer, you'll see it change from Jimmy or use other accounts. Actually, that's not entirely true. It'll say my logon, or I'll say change domain at the bottom, and that's where we would type it in at. You'll see when it's finished. So now it says welcome to error-driven tech domain. Since Jimmy doesn't exist on the domain and exists locally, it won't let me do that. But if I change that and I do /, you notice now beta, the name of the computer, now shows at the bottom with my screen name. So now if I type it in, it logs me right in. And that's how you can tell the system if you need to log into a local account for whatever reason, if you need to double check something, that is how you would be able to access a local account. The other thing, just to verify, so you can see, I'll do a who am I, and now you see it's logged in as beta / Jimmy. So that means I'm in a local account. Going forward, we'll have some more interesting videos. If you like this video, please, of course, like, subscribe, and or share. If you like this video, please go ahead and like. If you thought this video was helpful, please go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. Especially if you want to keep up with additional videos that I'll be making. And hopefully we can get to 200 subscribers.